Hi, welcome to Maine Yarn Podcast, the Maine Yarn Podcast.
The only one.
Only one. And this is episode 74. And you may notice that if you are watching our video version, first of all, if you're not watching our video version, there is a video version of this one.
Yeah.
And it is extra special because it is in my new house overlooking Sebago Lake.
Sebago!
Yay! And I am in love with this porch and this view, so this is where I will be spending all my time.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yes.
I'm going to check back in with you in February and see if you're true to your words.
True. But it has been, I don't know, it's been pretty amazing getting here in the beginning of August. And a lot of the country I know is under extreme heat wave. I had to go to Kansas City for work, and I couldn't breathe. It was so warm. But it's been so beautiful here. This is like the one month of the year where, I don't know, it switches when it is. Usually my favorite month is like September, October here.
Yeah.
And this is going to be great. We'll have to do another video one, but we'll be more bundled up.
Yeah, oh yeah, that'll be great with the fall colors. There might be just as much shooting though.
I don't know if they can hear that. There's a little bit of shooting. And pretty soon you will hear dirt bikes because my son's going to come home. He said he'd be home already, but he is now 39 minutes late, if anyone's counting. So we'll assume he's not dead and just move on. He's 15. This happens all the time.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have segments on this show, as I've been told. And so today we are going to talk about finished objects.
Yeah. We'll also talk about what we're working on.
And what we want to work on next.
We'll have a book review.
Yeah. And some random thoughts.
We'll talk about making some stuff.
And we'll out and about, ending with another interview from our retreat.
Yeah. Can't wait.
Yay. And the shots in the background, in case you can't hear them, only started when we hit record.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun.
But we're pretty sure they're not coming for us. So
No. If we've heard there's a coyote problem in the area, so yeah. But, you know, if the coyotes eat your cat and dog, that's even sadder. Anyway, we don't want to go there. Sorry. So I think we have some finished objects, and I did not bring mine out here.
Oh no.
Dang it.
Yeah, I didn't bring mine with me. The one time we do a video podcast, we didn't bring them, but you have to just believe us. So what did you make?
I made, finally, the Calistoga. So this was in Quince and Company, Kestrel.
Yeah.
And it goes down to almost to my knees. It's like a duster, I guess is what it's called.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. It's so nice. It's short sleeves. It survived some surgery, which I think I talked about earlier.
Oh, you did do surgery.
Oh, yeah. It's all back together now. That was the one that kind of just unraveled on me. I just didn't tie a knot tight enough or something in one of the edges, and it just fell apart, which is hard to fix because linen will fall apart quickly.
Yes.
And
I have had that.
Yeah.
I've had some knots in the back of some linen stuff that decided it was going to unravel. Yeah.
So I fixed it, and it's wearable. I wore it to trivia the other night, of course.
Maybe.
And I think you got my picture.
Yes.
So it's online somewhere.
Maybe even if if I'm in the middle of a rant or something, you could just go and get it and just show up.
I could.
In a different outfit.
Yeah.
Like it's the Oscars or your wedding or something.
True. I could.
You could.
Speaking of different outfits, we are wearing prior finished objects because we are on video.
Yes.
Mine is, what is the name of mine? The Summer Sorrel.
Yeah, I like that.
The Summer Sorrel in
so nice.
On the Round Nimble Sock in the colorway from the retreat from 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, very nice.
We count this year as a year.
Yes. This year is a year.
Wow.
And I am wearing my Shaved Ice tee by Casapinka.
With another retreat tie-in.
Yes. It's the one that I finished 2 weeks after the retreat, but Casapinka was at our retreat.
But you took the class on
I
it
took
the
class.
year before.
Yeah. So
at the retreat.
It only took me like a year and 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Which is actually pretty good for me.
And, I mean, fair enough, that wasn't continuous time.
No, I've also made other things, yes.
Yes, if you've been listening. Yeah, it does not actually take a year to make this gorgeous top if you are interested in doing it.
It's pretty quick.
Yeah.
It's very nice. And it's
And I love
4
your
different
colors. Yeah. They're sort of similar. I mean, the pinks, that's a very different green.
Yeah.
But green and purples is what's in this
everything
color.
I do is green and purple, basically.
Yeah. Mine would be, except this is a sample for the shop, which I'll talk about in a little bit. Not my normal color, but I did go see the Barbie movie, so I am knitting in these colors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So, you have a finished object too?
Yeah, which I also did not bring with me, but my, we talked about them last time, but my missing socks that I thought I'd left on an airplane,
Yes.
but I hadn't, I finished them, and they're lovely. Absolutely lovely. So, you'll just have to believe me, though, because they're at my house, which is like 20 miles away. So.
Yeah. I won't go on that long of a rant for you to go and get that.
Anyway.
All right.
So what are you working on right now?
Right now, I am working on the Sweetheart Raglan dress, and it is made out of, one second, Peep Luxury DK from West Yorkshire Spinners. We
Nice.
just got this in,
Supporting my home country.
yes, we got this in this summer. West Yorkshire, I think we talked about this before, but they didn't used to import.
Yeah.
They did, and then they stopped for a while, and now they're doing it again. So super exciting. We have this now,
Yeah.
and I'm making it in this pretty pinks color. It's just gonna be a little baby dress, and this is gonna be the bottom of the dress
Yeah.
in these pretty yellows. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be so cute.
So like pink and orangey.
Yeah, it's like a sunset. I think the name of the color
like
is actually
mango.
Calico, but yeah, pink and other pinks
Yeah.
and orange and yellow. But
Very nice.
the cool thing is that all these different colors that are in here are also solids we have. And
Yeah.
there's like 4 of these multicolors, and all the solids match these
Yeah.
colors exactly. So you can make your own kind of color combo funness.
Yeah. Actually, all my West Yorkshire stuff is like that. Is multicolor in that same design.
We
We'll
also
talk about
have
how I know that later.
West Yorkshire Spinners sock yarn, which
Yes.
we've started getting in. And,
I have
and
some
then
of that.
some of the Christmas colors are coming in soon too. We're going to have some cool holiday socks available.
Very nice.
It's not a DK weight, it's their sock yarn, which is
Yeah.
pretty nice.
Yeah.
And pretty self-patterning colors.
Yes.
So, what are
Great.
you working on now?
I'm working on, well, these are the Smokey socks. I talked about them last
Yeah, I
time.
still love that color.
Yeah. And it's, again, like I say, everything I do is purple and green, but this is like smoky
I'm
infused.
trying to see if you can see it.
Yeah, it's
It-
very
it,
hard to
it
see.
comes out more brown on the
Yeah.
film.
You'll just
I
have to
guess
believe
there's little
me.
pieces of brown, but it's got the teal. It's got this teal from the
Yes.
top of your shirt, almost
Yeah.
exactly.
It's just like everything was washed in kind of a old-timey grayish brown tint.
Yeah, it's really pretty for socks. I
Yeah.
would say.
Yeah, I love it. But so yeah, still working on those. But I think I just started them last time, so it's not bad for just my
No.
bag knitting. You know, I'm going to be done with the shorty sock soon,
Yeah.
and then I'll make another shorty sock, and then I will turn said shorty socks into regular
Longy
length socks. Yes, or just socks,
Yeah.
as they're known.
And because we're here and we have a bag thing and we are on camera, why don't you show them the gorgeous
Yeah.
bag you're using?
Well, only if you show yours.
Okay.
So
Because I'm like, I've noticed that and I love it. We talked about it last
yes.
time, but
I got this on the Maine yarn cruise in one of the shops. I will tell you in a second which one. It's a lovely little handmade bag made by, it says M.E., like me or Maine, but I think it's her initials are M.E. And it has like a little pocket, but it also has this little thing that I've got my, stitch markers tied to, and it's very cute and small. These are 2 skeins of sock yarn, one skein of sock yarn divided into 2,
yes.
and then it fits in my purse.
Little paw
Yeah,
prints on the inside
and you could put it
fabric.
on your belt as well.
And it
yeah,
matches your sweater.
Yeah.
And my sweater.
yes.
In case I walked
course.
away with it.
And it is from Wrinkle in Time Farm in Sumner, Maine. So what about your bag over there, though?
Oh, yes. So this one is in one of my sea bags.
Yeah.
So this is made of a recycled sail. So it's I don't know,
Yep.
when I scratch it, it makes that sound. And yeah, it's just super sturdy and super like washable. If anything gets on it, I can rinse it off. But it's perfect size for these 1 to 2 yarn projects.
Yeah.
2 to 2 skein projects.
Yes.
And
Socks.
socks, yes, or it could be just like a great handbag. Just, it's got the wrist split if you're going out and just
Yep.
want to take a few things, fit your wallet and your sunglasses and your
And
car
it's
keys and your lipstick.
waterproof
Yeah.
by design. Yeah.
So we've got a ton of different styles in the shop,
Yeah.
but this is the only one I have right here.
I forgot to look at those when I was in the shop last, so I'll have to come by again.
Probably smart.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, they're so nice. I need them all.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's how I decide which ones to carry in the shop with my
Yeah.
favorites. So
Cool.
I've only bought like 3 of them so far.
Very nice.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, so what else am I working on?
Yeah.
So I've been working on in another bag. So this is the official Maine Yarn Cruise bag. If you haven't gotten yours yet, the Maine Yarn Cruise goes through October. It's not on the back. It's on your passport. October 9th.
October 9th.
Yeah. So you got time if you want to go visit all the shops. This is
Van away.
yeah, this is the open bar shawl. In the Barbie girl colorway, I believe. But I did pick it out long before the Barbie movie. What? Oh, the candles. We got our citronella candles going here. This is not done yet, obviously, but it's got these 3 sections that will be repeating.
It's great contrast.
Yeah, I love it. And when I'm done and I block it out, like this center section's got some really cool. It's hard to see here. It's like lacy, open. Kind of a cool pattern there.
Yeah.
I forget what she calls it. Let's see. So this is the pattern, and sorry, there's a few pages. So she just writes everything out, and then it's open bar by Cali Monster.
Kelly Monster?
Monster of Monster Knits.
Oh, Kelly Monster.
Cali Monster. And it's made from Emma's Super Silky. And I have these 3 colors, which I believe was called the Barbie Girl colorway set that I had in my shop. I still got a few of these left. Yeah, but it's just 3 different.
What was the stitch called?
Oh yeah, that's what I was looking for.
That's what I'm here for, folks.
I've got these stamen and ripple stitches and the chevron stitches.
Nice.
So I'm not sure which one was which. I know which one is the chevron.
Right. I was going to say that one doesn't make sense.
Yeah, so stamen stitch was that first, this guy, which is kind of interesting looking too. I don't know if I've ever done it before, but this must be the ripple stitch.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so it's been a lot of fun, and I've got, of course, my matching, not by design, stitch stoppers on the end.
Yeah.
Oh, my
you reminded me.
fun little, I don't know if you can see that well, probably not. But it is pelican, flamingo.
Yeah, it's flamingo. Green
Flamingo.
flamingo with a pink belly.
Yes.
You reminded me about my stitch stoppers. So
yeah.
I have little unicorns. Let me put them on here. So in my matching bag, my Maine Yarn Cruise bag,
Yes.
I've got to start holding it over my head, or maybe I don't. This is Ali's tea, which we talked about last time, which I just started, and I feel like I've made quite a lot of progress.
Yeah.
And it has lovely little unicorn stitch stoppers.
I love them. They're so much fun.
But yeah,
And useful.
I've been enjoying this, even though I'm just still on that same first color.
And I love the little flecks of color in that, though.
Yes.
It came out really pretty.
Yeah, I like it. And there is green. You can see it in the light,
Of
right?
course.
If it's, of course.
Yeah.
But the
Just a
green is
little
very
bit.
muted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is. But I think I was just listening to the last podcast and I didn't say that, but there is green as well as purple.
You
in
don't
that, just
remember what the
green.
color name was, do you?
Yes, it was Dowager Countess.
Oh. There you go.
And then my contrast color is Beauchamp from On the Round.
Very nice.
And those two together are going to be great.
Yes.
So that's that one in my bag. That's the other thing I've been working on. Otherwise, I've been pretty, not monogamous, but 2 projects pretty much all month, I think.
I mean, me too, but I've also been moving and most of my projects are packed.
Yeah.
So I do have to get back out some of my warmer stuff, so I have something new to wear to Rhinebeck.
Yeah.
Talk about that in a little bit.
Oh, yes, I should put that on my list. Okay, yep. That's the thing that needs to go on my list of
Okay.
what I want to work on next. Anyway, we'll fix that later.
Okay. What else are you working on?
I think that's it. I just covered it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
All right.
All right.
Now, word from our sponsor. can see how the magic happens, everybody. Knitwit Yarn Shop is now open in our new, larger location in downtown Portland, Maine. We are located at 34 Danforth Street, still just steps away from the waterfront. Knitwit has been a favourite knitting destination for locals and visitors since 2004. If you aren't local or just feel like shopping in your pajamas or from your lovely deck overlooking Sebago, you can browse our full inventory at knitwitportland.com and also follow us on Instagram at Knitwit Yarn Shop or Facebook at Maine Knitwit. But make sure you stop by to say hello on your next Maine vacation.
Definitely. All right, what do we want to work on next?
Well, you start because I keep adding things to mine.
Okay. Well, I only have one that I added today, so we will go with that. So it's going to be based on this. This is the Calico by...
Calico is all over the place for you because yarn's called Calico too.
Maybe
right?
It wasn't. Maybe this was not. Maybe that's where I got it from. This might have been Cherub.
That makes more sense.
Okay. All right. Sorry.
Something that begins with a C.
Yes. Well, and two things that I thought about today that begin with C.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is the Calico shawl by Dawn Barker. It is assigned pooling, which I've not done before, but it always intrigues me.
Sounds like my work.
Yes.
That's what I do for work. Okay.
This is not financial pooling, though. This is color pooling.
More fun, probably.
Because in the mail today, I got this gorgeousness from Wonderland Yarns. We're going to talk about Wonderland.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to hear from Wonderland for our interview.
Yeah.
So this is their new base that they were working with while they were at the retreat. This is the Silk Twist, and this is the first time that the De-Stitch Nation, De-Stitch Nation, I don't know.
De-Stitch Nation, I think. De-Stitch Nation. It's like destination.
Destination.
But with the word stitch in the middle. Submit your pronunciation separately.
This one came in the mail. I don't even know what the pattern is going to be yet because she sends the yarn ahead of time and then she gives the yarn shops the patterns. But I opened the box. I'm like, oh, I need one. So I don't have the pattern. So I'm making my own pattern. This Calico is, and she'll probably come out with the pattern before I get started. So maybe I won't even make this. But this is today's plan.
To make that?
Sort of. So what happens in assigned pooling is that if you see in this gorgeous skein of yarn, it's so soft, feel that?
Yeah. Is that the silk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see the silk is like little shiny dashes. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. And then it's got this green and red and oranges on the base of yellow.
Yeah. Colors you would never have thought to put together, really.
But I hope it. And it's called Rumpelstiltskin, by the way. So it comes with a Rumpelstiltskin pin and some kind of pattern that's going to be Rumpelstiltskin-y.
Yeah.
Because this year we are traveling to tales as old as time, as opposed to like actual cities.
Rumpelstiltskin, because he had, what was her name? The princess who he had her spin flax into gold?
Yeah. Yep.
Were you going to go there?
Well, the name of the
remember
colorway.
that later.
The name of the colorway is At the Wheel.
Yeah.
So, anyway, where I was going to go was to explain assigned pooling. Basically, you're going along. Most of this is this gold color.
Gold.
Gold. And maybe this is the color of flax. I don't know. Not really. But where am I going?
I'm sorry. There's just too many parallels.
You're going along at the gold color.
Yeah.
And you get to one of these color spots, and when you do that, you make one of these little flowers.
Aw, yeah.
And then you keep going.
Yeah.
And so you decide where to make your flowers based on where the color pops up. So instead of counting stitches, you're just watching for where the color is. And that's what assigned pooling is.
Yeah.
And I've been intrigued by it. I haven't done anything yet. This is in fingering weight. This is DK weight. I'm going to make some adjustments. But I'm going to use this as sort of my general guide. Dawn Barker has, maybe 5 or 6 different assigned pooling shawls or cowls and different things with different like textured stitches.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
This is today's inspiration. I need to stop having new inspiration every day because I can't complete a project in a day. But that's just because I opened the box and had to put it in inventory in the shop, and I was like, I can't send all of those into the shop. I need to keep one for myself.
So I said...
So, that's my story. Sticking to it.
I said last time that this is what I was going to work on next, and I haven't actually done it. But I picked it back up, and I'll talk about why, because I was getting organized. And just look, isn't it amazing?
It's gorgeous.
I kept calling it a recursive cowl.
No.
But it's a recursive
It's a
shawl.
Yeah.
I don't know why I kept calling it a cowl last time, but I love the
Maybe
colors.
because that's what it says on the outline.
Yeah.
Here, I'll change it.
But anyway, I love the colors that I chose, even though they are very close to green and purple. They are actually, dear audience member, green and pink. See, it's not always green and purple.
Yeah, kind of.
Doesn't really prove it, does it?
It's more fuchsia.
Yeah. The fuchsia's uncertain.
Yeah, I think I picked similar colors for my recursive shawl.
Yeah,
and I can't wait to get started.
The one she made is in similar colors too, I have to say. Like, I've got a dark green base, and I think the one in the images for the pattern are like a turquoise. So that's on my list. And then the other thing...
The best part about that workshop, though, I think, in addition to, like, she showed us how to do the shawl, which I didn't really participate in because I was working in the shop.
Yes.
But then I did participate in the shopping part.
Yeah.
Because we went out into the shop.
That
and
was fun.
It was great because she gave us permission to mix yarns, sort of like Stephen B. Like, they don't all have to be chickadee.
Yeah.
Like, we have all different, like, to get the right shade of green, like, let's look at 4 or 5 different fingering weight yarns and see which one looks best. And it doesn't matter that they're not the same brand.
And what we had was one contrast color and then 4 maybe.
Yeah. It was
so
so
this
much
is my
fun
contrast
pulling them together.
Sorry, my contrast is pink. This is the fuchsia. But then all my other colors are these greens, and it was just what you're supposed to get is like what do I want to say? A scale.
A fade?
Yeah, a fade of, but again, being able to pull from different yarn manufacturers meant I could get so many more options on my fade.
So pretty.
Yeah, and then the other one's more of a gray.
Yeah, it was so fun just, having, I mean, we don't need permission,
That's
right?
where my
But
reading light is.
Hey. I find things like that sometimes.
Yeah. That's my knitting light. Okay, yeah. Sorry.
So
yes. Is that on your list now too?
It's been on my list. But it's packed at the moment, so it's not too close to the top of the list.
My other thing that I haven't put on here, but I need to put it back on again, is the Mabel. And the reason the Mabel needs to go back on there is that I think that's my Rhinebeck sweater.
Oh, yeah.
Which means I have to get going on it.
It's a quick one.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah,
it's almost September.
Yeah. I have faith in you, though.
Thanks. I need to put that one on my list is what to work on next.
Okay.
All right.
I'll hold you to it. I'll see you at trivia with it. Right? Or are you trying to finish something first?
No, I want to pick that up again.
Recursive?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll see. That might be with me tomorrow. We'll see.
All right.
Trivia's tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Oh, yeah, it's Monday. This is weird. We're recording on a Monday.
I know.
Oh, yeah, and we changed. Oh, yeah, we are going to trivia Tuesday.
Yeah.
So confused. Because here at my new house, I'm actually closer to the other place where Bill does trivia.
It's my fault.
It's okay. But you weren't available, so we're going back. And, wow. That was a lot that you did not need to know, dear listeners.
But now you know where she lives and where she'll be tomorrow.
Yeah. And if any of you live in Sebago and want, like, a knitting buddy, just send me a note. That would be awesome.
I'm, like,
You can still come.
Okay.
I'm not exclusive.
But you're not monogamous.
Well, we can see that with my projects. Or maybe a spinning buddy, because you won't learn to spin.
Yeah, I won't.
Okay. You can go over and weave, and we can do...
Oh, I forgot about that as well.
When I was looking at this house, I pictured sitting on this deck spinning, looking at that lake. That was like, okay, I gotta buy it. And, by the way, if you would like to buy a house in Wyndham that's perfect for a growing family, reach out to me too.
It's a beautiful house.
I really need to sell my old house before I go broke by owning 2 houses. So please. All right, book review time after my shameless plug there.
Was it Rumpelstiltskin who had the person spin the flax into gold?
I thought maybe he did the spinning.
No, he... all right, I'm going to look it up. But that's the tie-in. That's the segue, because now you're going to talk about flax.
Yeah, so my book review is this book called Homegrown, Flax, and Cotton by Cindy Connor. Somebody mailed this to me, the publisher.
Possibly Rumpelstiltskin.
Yeah, Rumpelstiltskin might have mailed it. Maybe she's related to him. And... sorry, it's getting punchy time. So, yes, she mailed this to the podcast. And I got it, and there was no note, except information on where to buy it. And so I'm like, well, I'm guessing it's for review. So, do you have Rumpelstiltskin news?
Yeah, she could spin the mill. There was a poor miller who had no money, but he had one beautiful daughter who could spin. He said that she could spin gold out of straw. I'm sorry, not out of flax. I led everybody astray, but that was the Rumpelstiltskin story.
Yes.
And so Rumpelstiltskin was like, "Go ahead," and she couldn't.
And then there was something about saying his name, right?
Yes, she had to guess his name.
Oh, to get free or something?
Yes, and she managed to guess that his name was Rumpelstiltskin.
Because why not?
Yeah. So that's got nothing to do with the segue now, so sorry, back to the book.
Homegrown, Flax, and Cotton, the DIY guide to growing, processing, spinning, and weaving fiber to cloth. Mm-hmm. So, every time I see someone spinning flax, I see them like whacking things and I'm like, oh, that's too much work. I would never want to do that. That seems like too much work. So, I got this book. I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to review this book. And I started reading it. And before I'm like 5 chapters in, I've got my whole flax garden planned. Apparently I'm going to be a flax spinner now. Because when you spin flax, it becomes linen.
Yes.
And so what she's saying is it's like the whole farm to table movement as we're getting more conscious of where our food's coming from, what we put in our body. Next up in the importance is what you put on your body, because your skin is like the biggest organ and it absorbs things, and so you should probably care where it comes from. And there's all kinds of evil in the world with people in fast fashion and all that good stuff. So she's like, and this is more doable to me than owning a sheep.
Yes.
Because the sheep wants to be fed every day.
It's also vegan. I know that's not what you are, but it's also vegan for people who are trying to avoid wool that comes from animals.
Yes.
Yarn that comes from animals.
Or if you have a wool allergy.
Yep.
So up here in the north, cotton doesn't grow real well.
No,
but flax sure does. So it goes through all this first it starts out with why you would want to make your own clothes. Here's my favorite quote.
Already there.
Yeah. Here's my favorite quote. I started this journey growing naturally colored cotton, so I had color to begin with and only learned about dyeing because I had friends who were passionate about it. Choose your friends carefully. They may lead you into unanticipated projects. And then she goes on, along that same thought, if none of your current friends are into learning to grow their own clothes and all it entails, you may want to add a few new friends to your life. So, both sides of that.
Oh, I see where you were going earlier then.
Yeah. Plus, I took a picture of that and sent it to you as you were trying to be not talked into buying a weaving loom.
Yeah, I know.
And I was trying to not be talked into sign it.
Won't you need a loom?
I can knit with linen.
But won't you want to weave with it too?
Maybe. I have got a handmade rigid heddle loom.
Okay.
That hasn't really excited me yet. But
yeah.
Anyway, this goes through how to grow your flax. In kind of like layman's terms, because I'm not a gardener.
So it's a good book.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. And then all the steps. Apparently, you have to ret it, which is, you basically you lay it out in the dew or in water for a few weeks and let it start rotting, but not too much to release. I know. And then because inside these hard stalks are these lovely long hairs.
Oh, yeah.
So you got to break them out.
Yeah.
So you start it by rotting it a little bit.
Yeah.
And then you smash it and you scrape all the seeds and everything out, and you end up with this fine, really long linen.
Yeah, it looks, the pictures, it kind of looks like a sheep, like something that came from an animal.
Yeah.
It does look soft and fluffy.
Yeah, but longer. so maybe less breaking when you're
Yeah.
spinning it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just seems. And then we've got our indigo dyeing day we're gonna have to do soon. And imagine like dipping like some handmade linen into indigo.
Yeah.
And then she goes into all the stuff for cotton, which I'm assuming is just as helpful for people who have warmer temperatures.
Yeah.
But I don't. But I may look at the spinning cotton part because I'm interested in that. I can just buy some cotton.
Yeah.
And then she talks about how to manage your spun fiber.
So this is a good book because it has now also made you want to pick up another hobby.
Yes, turning yarn into fabric.
Yeah.
Which we do through
do all the time.
different ways. Yeah. And then here's some clothes designs. Even in the back, she's got, let's see, what am I trying to say? Woodworking designs for some of the tools, because apparently making flax into linen is not like an everyday sort of thing. So if you have someone who's handy with wood, you know, they might be able to make you one of these breaks. There's even a Swift pattern. So yeah, her husband apparently is a woodworker and has built these tools for her. So I would recommend it unless you don't want to start a new hobby. And then I would say stay far away.
And then who are you?
Right. Yeah. Choose your friends carefully. So I have to finish reading this, but so far it's been great, and so far it has made me sign up for another class at Rhinebeck.
Yep.
So
Great.
there's that.
Great.
Yeah. So you had some random thoughts.
Yes. I can't wait to show you. So, like we were talking about sable and stash acquired beyond life expectancy. So
Is that an actuarial term too?
I don't know. You have to tell me. So remember, a couple of years ago I talked about it on the podcast. I organized my stash.
Yeah.
And I bought those like 3x3 cubby things. You can get them anywhere, like Lowe's, Home Depot, Target. Yep. I got 2 of those. So I had like 18 squares, and that's where my whole stash was. And then over the last few years, it's just kind of grown, and I've had my secondary stash, my tertiary stash. I've got it like all over the house.
The secret camper stash.
Yeah. So what I ended up doing was buying another 2 of those. So now, instead of 18, I have 36. Look at me do math. So I have 36 of them, and this isn't going to come over very well, but I have to show you. Look. It's still a work in progress, but look.
Ooh, nice. I've got one of those set up in my office right now.
Yeah, it's not going to work.
You can go up closer. Yeah, that's perfect.
So my husband sees this whole thing forming because he helped me put the one on top and make sure it doesn't fall over. And what's different now is that I had all the yarn in bins, and now I have 2 whole cubbies full of sock yarn. So the one cubby is when it's in skeins.
Yeah, skeins.
One cubby is skeins, and the other cubby is non-skeined.
Like
sock yarn.
Balled them up?
Or it comes like the West Yorkshire Spinners kind.
Gotcha.
Or,
So you organize by put up?
Yes.
After weight.
Yeah, and then for sock yarn, just because I've got so much of it. And then it goes through all the different sizes. And then I've got sections. So my stash is mostly, I think we talked about this, my stash is more yarn than it is whips.
Yes.
Yours, I think, is more whips than it is just random yarn.
Might be both.
Yeah. But my husband sees it. There's like 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's probably like 12 cubbies that are just full of yarn. He sees it. He's like, it looks like a, insert your own word here, yarn shop in here. And I'm
Not a pleasant word?
And I'm like, isn't that great?
It's like a gorgeous yarn shop in here.
It makes me so happy. In fact, I'm going to go back and reorganize all the skeins of sock yarn so that it looks like a nice rainbow color. But I'm still trying to put everything together, as you can tell.
I like it.
Thank you. So that's what I've been doing, and that's what led me to go, oh, I still have this. Oh, here's where my Bristol.
Some city.
Here's my Bristol
and my
stuff.
And my lights.
Yeah. And then I can't remember if I'm going to talk about it here. I might have put it under getting technical. So the other thing I found was, remember with my pier side, I talked about how it's the second time I started the pier side. I just want to show you. This was the first attempt.
Yeah.
It's not nothing.
No.
Like, I made half of the sweater, and then I gave up.
I'm sorry.
I have tons of this yarn still. What should I do with this?
Finish it.
No.
No. Pull it out.
What about
It matches your earrings.
What about make it into a blanket? Or a bag? Or I could felt it? Like, that's what I'm wondering. Or I could make it into a dog sweater.
Okay.
There's all kinds of things I could do with it, right?
You could.
So that's my conundrum right now.
I
don't know why I keep holding it over my head.
I don't know.
I can make it into a scarf. Not really. But, you know, I can pick up a knit. I could go in any direction with it.
True.
And you should just, like, sew a line so it doesn't keep coming unraveled.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. But it's going to be something, maybe. So that was another thing I found while I was going through. Okay, so, anyway. I'll go into making stuff?
Yes, and I'm going to finish this increase row that I keep having to look down for. Sorry.
So the other thing I've been making a lot of is people laugh. Hopefully. So the comedy stuff continues. I mentioned some improv groups that's still going on. Scratch Comedy, for example, is one of them. So improv groups are continuing. In fact, next month I'm going to be in the UK and I'll be performing with Comedy Sports in England. They're near Manchester in England.
Cool.
Yeah, so I'm going to be going up there to perform with them. But from the stand-up perspective, I entered my first ever stand-up comedy competition.
Yeah.
And I entered New England's Funniest Comedians. This is like my little brag section. I made it through to the finals, you guys. I don't know. I wasn't expecting that at all. But
That's amazing.
I know I didn't come first, second, or third. I don't have the actual results of the finals. I know I wasn't in the top 3, which is fine. I'm just so excited to make it to finalists. So I was in 3 rounds, basically, of this thing. And first stand-up comedy contest, so I was very excited to get that far and have that experience.
Awesome. Congrats.
Thanks.
All right. We seem to be getting drizzled on slightly.
Yeah.
So I think we're almost done, though.
Yeah.
All right, Rhinebeck. We are planning on going.
Yes.
And
See you there.
yeah. If you want to meet up or something, let us know. I've got all day spinning classes now, Friday and Saturday, because it was just going to be Friday, but then I had to join at the Flax class. So I'll be doing like
What the Flax?
general, like improving my spinning skills on Friday, and then Saturday is the Flax class, which there's still room in if you read this book and get hooked and would like to join me. I think there's 4 spots left. You signed up for what on Saturday?
Rug hooking. I will be a hooker.
Is that the only reason you signed up?
No.
You could say that.
I always wanted to make... I like making rugs. I've knitted a rug before. I haven't ever made a hooked rug, so...
That's awesome.
That's what I want to do.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
And I've never been to Rhinebeck before, have you?
No, I haven't. I thought you had.
No, never.
No.
So let us know what to expect and
Yeah.
how to plan ahead, and please.
Yeah, and look out for 2 tall ladies together. Probably us.
Who look like us.
Who look like
now
us.
you can see us.
Yeah. Especially if they look like us, it's probably us. Even more likely.
Yep. That's a good way to put it. All right. So you want to talk about the Maine Yarn Cruise. That's been your out and about.
Oh, yeah. So the other thing I've been doing out and about is I've been Maine Yarn cruising. Again, holding it over my face. I don't know why.
Is that like a throwback to like Zoom calls with a fake background?
Maybe.
Where you have to put it in front of your body so that
That's
the
probably
background doesn't eat it?
So I was doing a lot of Zoom improv, and you have to do that with props.
Yep.
So I'm actually halfway through, if you count by number of yarn shops. So I've been going all over. The ones I visited recently, let's see, I went to Nazinscott Farm Store, which is where I saw the floor looms. So it might be a problem.
That's right. That's when you were texting me.
Yes.
And where is that?
That is in Turner. That's actually not that far from me.
Oh,
Not
that's
that
where
far
you
from
wanted
you.
to take that class?
Yeah.
That was like an hour away, and it started at like 7 in the morning.
There's also Saturday and Sunday classes.
That was a Saturday class.
Well, they have like a retreat
Yeah.
where there's an all day, but then they also have Saturday and Sunday just
general
just
classes.
drop
All right,
in kind
maybe.
of things.
As long as I don't have to drive for an
Yeah.
hour before that.
I went to Damariscotta to Harbour Yarns. I went to Heavenly Yarns in Belfast, which is heavenly. To Cashmere Goat again in Camden.
Which is very close to where our retreat is.
Yeah.
Heavenly Yarns.
Yes. Went to the Maine Alpaca Experience with Scott, and he got to meet some alpacas. We went to the actual farm this time. And I went to One Lupin in Bangor.
Yes.
And I think that's it for the
Bristol
recent
there?
ones. No, but I talked to the person working there. I was like, Bristol comes in here sometimes, right? She's like, yes, Bristol does. I'm like, oh, I know Bristol. like a weird nerdy fangirl that I am. So
It's okay.
So yeah, that was my Maine yarn cruising. I don't know if I'm going to get to all stores, but we'll see. I've made quite a good start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at my cat in the window over there, being a bad kitty.
Uh-oh.
All right, well, that is all we are recording right now. We have our interview recorded, and we will, we will just go into that now. That does not have video, so we will put up some pretty picture or something for all of you.
I can send you a picture of my yarn stash in progress.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to do some kind of Wonderland picture for the background.
Okay.
Look at him. He's like staring me down while eating my plants. I'm sorry. It's a
You
bad
did
kitty.
pictures of the retreat too. Anyway, yeah, we'll figure that out.
We'll put a picture up and you will be surprised.
Yeah.
My cat needs... Sorry. He's distracting me. He's right behind the camera and eating my houseplant. That can't be healthy.
No.
Anyway.
So,
Stephanie coming up here and
Stephanie from Wonderland Yarns.
and Frabjous Fibers.
Yeah, she's going to tell us all about her wonderful Wonderland yarns.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Enjoy.
Hello.
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 So, today Stephanie is one of our vendors here at Knitwit at the Shores. And so excited you drove over from Vermont to hang out with us.
Yes, always welcome trip to Maine.
Yeah, and it's a gorgeous day even though we didn't quite expect it. So,
Yeah, not complaining.
no.
Yeah, welcome.
Thanks.
So
Glad
you-
to be here.
How long have you been dyeing yarn?
It's a good question. I started in yarn in 2004, but didn't actually get into dyeing for a few years. And the first time I did it was a complete disaster, which ended up with me on the phone with poison control and green fumes coming out of a pot in the kitchen. Yeah, really good time. But I kept doing it, so yeah,
That's
quite a
good.
while.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow. And how long have you, so are you a knitter, crocheter, and how long have you been interested in fiber in general?
I knit and I spin.
Mm-hmm.
So about the same amount of time. I hadn't, I sort of just gotten into knitting when I had a pattern published at knitty.com. And so then everybody came to me looking for the yarn, which was recycled silk yarn, which was hard to find at the time.
Yeah.
So I started importing it, and that was sort of my gateway into the rest of it.
Oh, that's,
So,
yeah,
yeah.
that's interesting.
Cool.
And just kind of grew from there.
That's great.
And how long has Wonderland been around then?
2015 added the hand-dyed yarn.
Okay.
So the rest of it, 2004. So
Okay.
yeah, it's a while in between.
And you obviously based on Alice in Wonderland, right?
Mhm.
You always loved the Lewis Carroll books, or
I think it started more because my dad and I are particular word nerds, and so
Yeah.
we were trying to think of a business name and
Yeah.
came up with Frabjous, which is a Lewis
Yes.
Carroll term, and then
Yeah.
it just kind of snowballed from there. Yeah.
Oh, Frabjous Day Calucale.
Oh,
I
yeah.
could recite the entire poem, but I will spare everyone.
Impressive.
That's great.
Julie is a word nerd as well. so
Yeah,
you
I
gotta-
am. I am. There will be terrible puns if we're not careful. So no,
Yeah.
that's great.
So what did Wonderland do before the hand dyeing?
I did a lot of hand-dyed fiber, but not the actual
Oh,
yarn. So that was
okay.
Frabjous fibers.
Okay.
And then, added the hand-dyed yarn as Wonderland later.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. And recently, Wonderland Yarns has been doing the series.
The
We're traveling all
clubs,
over.
yeah.
The club where you travel all over
We're
the
having
world.
a lot of fun with that.
Yeah. So what was the inspiration for that? Because I did say earlier we were talking, and I thought at one point you were following me because like every location was somewhere I'd lived, which is awesome. But what's the inspiration? How does that come about?
It started more of a looking for something colorful to be inspired by, and so we found all these really cool vintage postcards, and so that's the first 2 years were around that, and then we liked the idea of going to different destinations, so
Nice.
we've just kind of gone from there.
Yeah, well, especially when I can't remember if it was exactly when we were in lockdown or just before, but
It was,
Yeah,
so it was
so
kind
you
of the
get
only
to-
travel anybody was doing.
you get to virtually travel somewhere
Yes.
exciting by knitting, or
Yeah.
creating. That's great.
Yeah, and I love the literary destinations in more recent years. Those are fun.
Yeah, we'll do that next year too. Slightly different, but
Cool.
we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, and we haven't really described. So we're sitting in this amazing barn in Searsport Shores, Maine, as part of the Knitwit 2023 retreat. And I'm holding in my hand because I kept looking back to describe the yarn and moving away from the microphone, which was counterproductive. But I'm holding in my hand one of the examples of blossoms. Of course, it's a sock weight that I happen to gravitate towards. And this goes from pink to lilac to a blue, turquoisey, greeny, almost somewhere between olive and mint, and then a beautiful bright yellow. And it's one of the Blossom ever-changing yarns that I think you're famous for, but there's a lot of other, great colorways that you have as well.
Yeah, I used a couple of the blossoms in my butterfly shawl, which we had talked about an episode or two ago.
Yeah.
That I just love the way the colors come out slowly. You don't even realize you're changing color, especially with that blue one.
Right.
Like, I'm still doing blue, but then I stepped back and it was a totally different grade of blue there.
Yeah, there's some kind of test, by the way. I think it's on Facebook, of all places. But there's a test where you look at this and you see how many colors you see, and it kind of gives you a view of how you see colors.
I've
and
done those, like put the
it's
squares in
fascinating.
order.
Yeah, Scott does not see as many colors as I
could
do.
see that, yeah.
But yeah, these
He's
are just
not as fascinated by knitting and yarn as we are.
yeah.
Maybe that's why.
Maybe that's it. But yeah, there's just amazing. However many colors you see, there's amazing colors in here. And then, I love the shock of the other colors too. The Mad Hatter Sports. You've got that.
The colorverse where you've got the chunk. Yeah,
I love those
have
too.
been really fun for, when you're knitting along, you can do something exciting when you get to the chunk of color.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love the saturated on saturated. Like, that's one of my things. I had to force myself to do a saturated and pastel color combo on the thing I'm knitting right now, but usually I'm just like bright colors, saturated colors all the way through. So,
Yep. Keeps you interested.
yeah, which is
Yeah, I love
those
the
have a
dual
lot of them.
tones.
Yeah.
All right. So what kind of things do you like to knit personally?
I kind of feel like I have a short attention span for knitting. So I've never knit myself a sweater. It's on the list.
Yeah.
I've even picked out, I think it's vitamin D. I don't know if you've seen that pattern.
No.
It's like a drapey open front cardigan. It's been on the list for 5 years. So
reasonable.
shawls.
It's fine.
Mostly shawls. And I'd love to knit cowls because that's one thing that I'll wear on a fairly
Yeah.
regular basis.
Yeah.
And sort of,
You
there's
do a lot
you
of
can do.
designing for your clubs too. I'm
Yeah, a
impressed
lot.
by how you're turning them out.
Each club comes with a pattern each month, and it's often me.
Yeah.
So I stay busy knitting.
Yeah, that is one of the frequent themes that comes up when we talk to designers and dyers. It's like when you're in the industry, sometimes it's harder to actually make stuff for yourself because
It's definitely
you have to devote that time to working on something first and then knit for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a while. But if I do, I also try to get dual purpose out of it. Like, I really want to make this, so why don't we design it? And then we have another pattern. So
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's cool. So what kind of clubs do you have? You have several clubs right now, or?
We have 3. We have the Blossoms Club, like you were just talking about, with the gradient cakes, and ocean theme this year with a stitch marker, and then we have the D-Stitch Nation, which we switch up the base every month, and it always comes with a pattern, and that one's really fun.
Yeah.
And then we have a quarterly sock club that's kind of newish. And
Oh dear.
Julie,
it's
our
quarterly. It's
joining
not every
us.
month.
I know. That seems perfectly doable.
Doable, yeah. And the designer that we're working with for that has come up with some really cute stuff, and we try to vary it between like textures this time, or you know, color work another time. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's really fun.
That's great. And then where can people find all of this? What's your Instagram, website?
Instagram is at Wonderland Yarns, and then our website is frabjousfibers.com.
And Frabjous is Frajbous.
Frabjous, yes.
And then fibers spelled the American way.
I think you could do Wonderland Yarns and lamb there too.
Yeah.
And I think I did try the other spelling.
Yeah.
Because I mess up gray and gray. Well,
Oh,
mess
yeah.
up. I interchange them all the time,
Yeah.
whether it's an E or an A.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like in America you can do the A or the E, but in
think
England
so.
it's always an E. It's never right to be an A.
Somebody told me to remember it by A for American, E for
Yes.
English.
I heard
okay.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're way off topic.
We
We've
always
gone
do
into
that.
words. Yeah. It
Yeah,
happens.
All right,
That's
and
great.
then we carry many of your things in Knitwit too, so you can find a lot of it there.
Yes.
So I love it. So, well, thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for
Appreciate your
having me
time
up.
today.
Thank you,
So
Stephanie.
fun.
All right, bye.
That was a great time talking to
Yeah,
Stephanie.
That was fun. I want to go back.
Yes, we will next
Okay.
year. All right.
I got to get working on it.
Well, for now, that means you've come to the end of another Maine yarn.
Yes. Show notes will be located at knitwitportland.com, and just click on the Maine Yarn podcast.
Big thank you to Knitwit.
You're welcome.
Happy knitting, everyone.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.